Hey everybody, my name's Hogan Brown with Loon Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you how to tie one of my favorite patterns, the Lil Amigo. I'm tying it today on a jig hook with an Insta jig. I came up with this fly after I came up with the S&M nymph and everybody started fishing it. It's a great mayfly nymph, tie it in olive, brown, PMD, whatever works for you, and we're going to tie it on a nice Euro style carriage. Our hook of choice is going to be an RX 555. We're going to use an 18. You can do it on a 16. I think it looks a little more to scale for like a smaller Batis on this. And then we are going to use a Insta jig. This is 5/64. I'm going to use medium speckled Coq de Leon from Hairline, but you know, your color, your choice, whatever it is that works for you. Now, I probably always, use too many tails than I should, but I like that. So I take a clump. A lot of my buddies, when I tie them little mayflies, they complain that I use too many, but I say you can always cut them out. You can't add them in. So kind of space it out. Normal mayfly proportions on this. I do make the tails a little longer when I'm tying with this. Seems to be more in the Euro fashion. Trim the excess. Then I'm going to take a piece of extra small black uni wire or ultra wire. Trim a piece. Take that and set it right next to the hook shank. Move that forward, keeping that kind of uniform platform. Okay. Then I'm going to take a dark olive, turkey bayet or quill. Okay. Pull it out. Now I'm usually going to sit down and tie a few, so I always just cut a clump off. Take one off this. Okay. And this is a crapshoot if I get it right and it looks perfect. But what I aim for here is that turkey bayet has a natural curve. And I like to set that facing down. And I put the tip, this is the best little proportion trick I have found to making this palmer, because we're going to palmer this, a little past the eye. So set it, come a little tighter. Just tack it, and then move that thread back. And then move it forward again. Okay. Then, in theory, if you've done that correctly, you take that and that ridge lays down nicely on that fly. Tie it off. Again, normal mayfly proportions. Trim it. I'm going to take that black wire, wrap it around once, and then I try to eyeball the placement of it in between those gills. There we go. Of the goose bayet. This does a couple different things. One, it makes the indentation between those gills black and dark, which is a good natural look. But at the same time, it's going to add some durability to that goose bayet. So then I clean that up. Okay. Now, again, I put a flash back on this, so I'm just going to take a small piece of flash, just standard mylar. You can use Flashaboo, anything you want. I use this stuff that comes on the spool. I think I've had this for decades. So whatever works, strand of crystal flash will work as well. I'm going to use a turkey turkey tail web case or web casing, kind of classic, right? I think it takes epoxy or resin a little bit better than the biots that I use in a lot of my mayflies, but you can definitely use a biot if you want. So I trim a little piece, put it there. I always like to center this so that it kind of wraps around. There you go. And you'll definitely get multiple uses out of one cut of turkey tail. So don't think we're going to use all that. Next, just some olive Frankendub. Really, any cut short nymph antron works. Dry fly double work too if you're really working it, keeping it nice and trim. This is not the trimmest version you could tie of this mayfly, just based on the, fact we're using the big Insta-Jig and just kind of how it all lays out. But it's definitely an effective one, and it gets down. Give it a few wraps. I like it about little thinner than the bead. Then you can do a couple different things at this point. You can just attach the legs, or, if you're doing this true to the Amigo pattern, you can take one piece of olive midge flash. Okay, again, this midge flash hank will last you a lifetime. And I just set it in there, tie it right behind the bead. Very similar to I would, for lags on the S&M or something like that, but just one strand. Just give it a little bit of flash in there. And then I take, if you buy pheasant tail clumps, there's always these kind of feathers at the bottom that are, a lot of people just, I don't know if they throw them away or not, but I've been using these for a lot of my legs. And so they're shorter, you can definitely use these for some pheasant tails and stuff, but they're a little softer. So they're going to move a little bit more with the smaller nymphs. And so I just set it right on top, tie it right in behind there. Okay, and I haven't trimmed that flash yet. I'm going to trim that flash once I get my legs in there. Again, take a little, and we're talking, 5, 6 of these, not a ton. Set it right in there, about measure it a little longer than the body. Okay.
You went around the hook eye.
Okay, so just wrap it in there, kind of a little longer than the body. Come tight. Okay. Then what I'll do is I twist this, not pulling on it, just twist it. Come in there with the precision tip scissors, cut it right off. Keeps it nice and clean. Twist it, not pulling, because you don't want to pull the legs out. Get in there with those nice fine precision tips. Trim it right off. Okay. Then I'll come in, I'll pull the flash, cut the flash a little shorter than the legs, just so it kind of hides itself in there, but it's, it's still in there. And again, you don't have to do the flash if that's a little too much for you, but I'll take that turkey tail, pull it over, give it a wrap or two to secure it, kind of come tight. You can see those legs pull. Okay, use your fingernail to kind of shove it in there behind the bead. And I'll take that flash, pull the flash over, kind of repeat. Okay, then I'll take again those precision tip scissors, kind of sneak them in behind that jig and cut it. It does not have to be perfect. If you look at any of my mayfly nymphs, I purposely leave a little bit of a tag there. Then I'll wrap in front of those trimmings, okay? And then come in and tie right off under them, okay? And I like that lighter color head. It gives it a little bit of a, I'll say a hot spot, but it's definitely a little different. Pops out a little bit, okay? So at that point, you know, by all means, you could be done. I like to put some fly finish on it, the UV resin. This is going to be our thick. So you could probably use thin. You just got to be a little quicker with the flashlight. But I'm going to put this in. When I'm doing this, I get a nice little ball, right about like that. And then I set it on the Wingcase. And I like to pull it over onto the bead, okay? So I'll give it a little eyeball. I'll pull the legs out. And this also serves as head cement, right? Because it's going over the thread. Then I'll take the light, hit it with the light, cure it in. And you got a jigged Lil Amigo.